Learning Target 6.1 was about identifying, classifying, adding, and subtracting polynomials. So we're going to start off with the first example, which is rewriting, kind of more identifying and classifying the polynomial. So number 1, it says to rewrite the polynomial in standard form. That's for part A. So I'm going to take this polynomial and I'm going to rewrite it in standard form. Now what that means is the degree goes from greatest to least. So we want to rewrite our largest degree term first, and that happens to be a negative 5x to the third power. Negative 5x cubed. Make sure you bring the sign with it, so it would be a negative 5, not a positive 5. Then the next one in descending order will be the plus 2x squared. Bring the sign in front of it with it. Then next will be 6x, and then in descending order we've got our constant 2. Okay, so we're in descending order. The exponents go from greatest to least. Okay, now we want to identify the leading coefficient. Leading coefficient is just the number in front of the first variable, so it's just going to be that negative 5 because it's the largest degree, and you don't put negative 5x to the third. All right, next it's asking for the degree of the polynomial. Well, that is 3. It's a third degree. It is the largest exponent. How many terms? We have 1, 2, 3, 4 terms, so it'll be 4 terms. And then the tricky part is kind of identifying the name of the polynomial. So you name it by its degree and its number of terms. So here we know it is a third degree polynomial, and then it has 4 terms, so we're going to call it a polynomial. So it's going to be called a cubic polynomial. All right, let's do example 2. Example 2, same process. We want to write it in standard form. So our largest exponent is 3x to the 5th. Plus 8x to the 4th, so just go in descending order. Next term would be plus x squared minus 11x, and then last one minus 2. Leading coefficient is 3, degree is 5. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 terms. So if you look at our list, it's a 5th degree, so it's going to be a quintic. 5 terms, we're going to call it a quintic polynomial. Okay, now let's move on to the next learning target, which is I can add and subtract. All right, we're going to move on to our next learning target, which is adding and subtracting polynomials. The key thing here, make sure we combine like terms. That's going to be a really important part with this learning target, combining like terms. So a like term would be if it has the same variable with the same exponent. So we want to add or subtract. We also want to write our answer in standard form. So I always like to start there. Always start with your largest exponent first, largest degree. So we have a 2x squared and an x squared, and I'm going to add those together. So I'm going to get a 3x squared. Just add the coefficients. We're not doing anything with the exponents. We're just combining like terms, so those stay the same. Next, we have just 12x is like the descending order, so it's by itself, so I'm just going to rewrite it, plus 12x. And then my last one, I have minus 1 plus 4. Combine those. Negative 1 plus 4 is a positive 3. So there's my resulting polynomial. It's 3x squared plus 12x plus 3. Okay, number 4, same process. Let's write it in standard form. 14x to the third is by itself, so I'm just going to rewrite that term, 14x cubed. The next one in descending order looks like it's going to be x squared. So those are like terms. We're going to combine those. 3 plus 1 is 4x squared. Don't do anything with the exponents. Don't multiply them. Don't add them. We're just adding the coefficients. Now notice your x values, x, negative x, or positive x, negative x cancel, so we can get rid of those. And then our last one is plus 7 plus 2. Add our constants, we get plus 9. That's our final answer. It is in standard form. We don't have any more like terms, so we're done. Okay, we have to be really careful with subtraction because you have to do another step before you can combine like terms. With the subtraction, think of it like we're subtracting this entire quantity. I'm going 3x squared minus 5x minus everything that's inside of this quantity here. So what you need to do first is you need to distribute that sign over. I'm subtracting a negative 4. Well, that's going to change my problem to be 3x squared minus 5x minus a negative 4 is going to end up being a positive 4. Minus an x squared will end up being just minus x squared. Then minus a positive x will be minus x. Now we can combine like terms. And let's rewrite it in standard form again. So we get 2x squared minus 5x minus x will be a minus 6x. And then rewrite our leftover plus 4. We don't have anything to combine. So that's our final answer there. Same thing with this one. We need to distribute our negative first before we even combine like terms. So we get 1 minus x squared minus 3x squared minus 2x plus 5. I'm changing my sign in this quantity here. Then we can combine like terms. So we get negative x squared minus 3x squared will be a minus 4x squared. Minus 2x is by itself, so we just rewrite it. And then last one is 1 plus 5, which is 6. And then that's our final answer. And then that is the end of the learning target. You just need to be able to classify, identify, and then add or subtract polynomials.